Anger continues to mount in Kolkata, India, following the brutal and horrific rape and murder that has once again brought the spotlight about the safety of women in the workplace. And that will be our top story this week. Hello there, you are watching Inside South Asia with me, Dasuni Athauda, and let's have a look at what we have in store for you this week. The horrific rape and murder of a medical student at a Kolkata hospital has exposed failures on many fronts. From the rot in violence against women to the attempted cover-up by authorities and the politicization on multiple fronts have denied women safety at their workplace. Big ramifications and big shortcomings. Here's more.
Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Jalandhar and a host of other cities. All of India was shaken at the crime, at the brutality of it, and the lapses from multiple quarters that stared hard. People from all walks of life took to the streets in protest. Doctors held a day-long nationwide strike, hospitals were closed, all but essential services were shut. India was shocked and outraged at what it also saw as a violation of the rights of women's security at the workplace, something they'd come to expect as a given in modern India.
Our demand foremost will be that we want justice for the victim, and this is just one victim, but all of us know that there are so many victims like her who go unnamed, whose story we never hear.
Even the doctors on duty for the night and morning shifts are not feeling safe. I got a call from one of the juniors on night duty saying she was scared, asking me what to do. Even if no cases of rape happened yesterday, who is it to guarantee it will not happen today?
India's Supreme Court stepped in on Tuesday, sharp observations on the need for changes to clean a deep-rooted rot. Cannot wait for another rape for things to change on the ground, Chief Justice of India Chandrachud said, pointing at more and more women in the workforce. If women are not able to go to work and conditions are not safe, we are denying them equality, he said. The Chief Justice called it an issue of systemic safety of doctors across India, expressing concern on the absence of safe conditions of work for young doctors. A national task force of doctors is to create a blueprint giving recommendations on safety, working conditions and well-being of medical professionals. A final report is to come in the next 2 months. The issue brought out by the Kolkata horror, like never before, lays bare big lapses. The history of assault of the accused was overlooked. He was retained in a quasi-official capacity in the state police and got access to the hospital. If all this was deliberate, the rot in the system is indeed deep. Distortion and delay in conveying news of the doctor's death to her parents and filing of the FIR, a seeming desperation to deflect blame. The infrastructure shortcomings for interning doctors, all of these are one end of the picture. What's also important is society's failure in how it responds to rape and violence. Fact is, such a crime shows that stringent rape laws enacted after the 2012 Delhi gang rape are not a complete deterrent. The Kolkata rape took center stage for its barbarity, more so in an urban setting. What happens in the rural interiors, among the poor and marginalized, where such crime goes unheard? What happens when the furore dies down? The outrage over Kolkata must serve as a reminder that there is no room for systemic or societal lapses when it comes to crimes against women.
A series of unprecedented events and a new administration has now put Bangladesh on the cusp of big change. The people are hopeful of massive change across all fronts, including political, social, and economical. However, there persists doubts as well, especially with the possibility of political vengeance trumping all else.
The end of one era, the beginning of another, and all the new beginnings and forced endings and crackdowns and cries of witch hunt that are inherent to a transition from old to new. That's the story of the new post-Sheikh Hasina Bangladesh. Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, the man at the helm, laid out plans and policy for Bangladesh's future. In his first engagement with the diplomatic community since taking office, Yunus's biggest focus was reforms in the judiciary, in the economy, in the civil administration, in law and order, in the security forces and media. He spoke of efforts to restore macroeconomic stability and sustain growth, and support to Rohingya refugees and promoting national reconciliation. Noticeably pushed to the back burner for now, elections and democratic processes that many demanded. Also visibly creeping in was a sense of vendetta. Yunus had been persecuted by the Sheikh Hasina government, and getting his own back was priority too.
Sheikh Hasina dictatorship destroyed every institution of the country. Judiciary is broken. Democratic rights suppressed through a brutal decade-and-a-half-long crackdowns in every way. Elections were rigged blatantly. Generations of young people grew up without exercising their voting rights.
Political equations in Bangladesh turned 360 degrees almost overnight. People that former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had cast into oblivion or thrown behind bars crawled back into prominence and want their pound of flesh. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party of Begum Khaleda Zia, Hasina's arch-rival, is organizing rallies. Zia's bank accounts are to be unfrozen. Murder and genocide cases have been filed against Hasina and her cabinet colleagues, with the United Nations said to send a fact-finding team next month to probe atrocities committed during the student-led protests in July and early this month. The Bangladesh War Crimes Tribunal, set up by Hasina herself, has launched 3 mass murder probes against her. There are calls to India to extradite her to face the law for her atrocities. Cases of alleged witch hunt against the Awami League abound. Somewhere, does the ardent will for reforms risk getting caught up in fierce political vendetta? The challenges glare hard.
Accountability has to be fixed. And I think that is one part of the process that is going on, just to fix the accountability for whatever crimes have been committed during the last few weeks. So I think whatever you are seeing, arrest and so on and so forth, those are being done in light of what had happened earlier in terms of crimes. So that is one aspect. Another aspect, Professor Yunus, what he's saying, or the government is trying to say, reforms. I think reforms will take a little longer time.
Student leaders Asif Mahmood and Nahid Islam, who became the face of the revolution in Bangladesh, are now advisors with ministerial rank in the interim government. The euphoria lingers. 500,000 people responding to a call by students to defy curfew and prohibitory orders made history in Bangladesh. It's for the new people in power in Bangladesh to hold on to ideals of development and welfare, not let things go the way of political vendetta. And that gives rise to both hope and doubt.
South Asian countries are on high alert after cases of mpox were detected from Pakistan. The World Health Organization has sounded its highest alarm after cases were detected from the Democratic Republic of Congo that later spread to other parts of the African continent.
The emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice.
scenes somewhat similar to what we saw 4 years back when the COVID-19 pandemic hit the world. Mpox, previously known as monkeypox, has drawn international alarm as it spreads beyond Africa. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mpox has already claimed over 500 lives. And a new strain with a higher fatality rate has been found in Europe and South Asia. Pakistan confirmed its first Mpox case on the 16th of August. The man who tested positive had returned from the Gulf.
The first case in 2024 has been reported in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We have confirmed the case through PCR tests. Its sample has been sent to Islamabad for genetic sequencing.
The Police Services Hospital in Peshawar has been designated as an isolation facility for suspected Mpox cases. Pakistan Airport is also preparing itself with regular checks and disinfectant measures.
The health department is ensuring all measures regarding prevention, control, management and facilities. We have alerted our border health services teams at the borders.
Monkeypox जो है ये चूंकि एक वायरल डिजीज है तो इसके अलावा
Mpox is a viral disease. The basic symptom is a high-grade fever, which is an unexplained fever which is without any cause. There are also muscle and bone aches and headaches. Some patients suffer from vomiting and diarrhea. Most patients have diarrhea, others have occasional vomiting. If there is unexplained fever and itching and rashes like bubbles, these are the symptoms of Mpox.
Other countries in the Indian subcontinent are also on high alert. Bangladesh has started screening for Mpox at Dhaka airport. India too is stepping up its response. The country's health ministry has instructed all airports and land ports on the borders with Bangladesh and Pakistan to remain vigilant for international passengers showing symptoms of Mpox. 3 major hospitals in India's capital New Delhi have been designated as specialized centers for managing Mpox cases. But can Mpox become the new COVID? That's the big question.
Mpox is not the new COVID. Regardless of whether it's Mpox clade 1 behind the ongoing outbreak in East Central Africa or Mpox clade 2 behind the 2022 outbreak that initially impacted Europe and has continued to circulate in Europe since. We know quite a lot about clade 2 already. We still have to learn more about clade 1.
Vaccines were deployed in Europe and North America in 2022 that helped control the spread of Mpox then. Africa is yet to get them. Swift action in days to come to stamp out any spread will be key.
We now take you to the heart of Sri Lanka to uncover the splendor of the Kandy Asala Perahara, a festival that attracts both locals and tourists alike for centuries, is practically ingrained in Sri Lanka's rich culture and tradition. We also take a look at how the island nation's tourism sector is booming and what the upcoming elections mean for the sector. Take a look.
Adorned elephants, traditional fire dances, and performers in vibrant whip dance attire. This is the Kandy Asala Perahara, one of Sri Lanka's most majestic festivals. Held annually in Kandy in central Sri Lanka, this grand procession dates back over 2,500 years, tracing its origins to ancient Buddhist traditions. The festival celebrates the sacred tooth relic of the Buddha, believed to have been brought to the country in the 4th century AD. The Perahera, meaning procession in Sinhala, features a breathtaking display of cultural performances. Every part of the event symbolizes centuries of Buddhist heritage and royal traditions. The event this year took place in August and lasted for 10 days, culminating in a grand finale that lit up the city of Kandy on the 19th of August. However, the festival's significance extends beyond cultural celebration. It also intersects with the nation's political landscape. As Sri Lanka gears up for its presidential elections, the Kandy Essala Perahera serves as a glaring reminder of the importance of stability for a nation that is reliant on tourism. The festival attracts thousands of international visitors each year, eager to witness its grandeur and experience Sri Lankan culture firsthand. The influx of tourists provides a significant boost to local businesses and the hospitality sector, underscoring the festival's role in the nation's economy. Tourism in Sri Lanka is as diverse as its cultural offerings. From the pristine beaches of the south coast to the lush tea plantations of the central highlands, the country offers a wealth of experiences for travelers. The ancient cities of Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa, along with the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Sigiriya, provide a glimpse into Sri Lanka's storied past. And there is more. Yala and Udawalawa National Parks offer opportunities for wildlife enthusiasts to spot majestic elephants, leopards, and a variety of bird species. The upcoming presidential elections will take place in a backdrop where the island nation has just begun to recover from its 2022 economic crisis, with President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the helm. However, analysts predict that Wickremesinghe's chances of re-election might be slim, with many unsatisfied with the high taxes and rising cost of living imposed on citizens after his takeover. As tourism is one of the largest foreign exchange generating industries in the country, with over 1 million tourists arriving for the year so far and with tourism authorities expecting 1 million more arrivals before the end of the year, a stable government post 21st September polls is vital for the country's economy. Earnings from tourism in the first half of 2024 crossed the $1.5 billion mark and have emerged to be the third largest foreign exchange source. The goal for the next year is 3 million tourists and 5 million by 2030. Starting from the second week of September, Sri Lankan tourism authorities will launch a promotional campaign to attract more visitors from various countries, including China, Britain, France, Germany, India, Russia, Australia, and many more. Will this campaign help the government to gain votes? Sri Lanka continues to bet high on tourism.
And that's all we have for you on our show this week. Before we leave, take a look at Nepal's Pride Parade, organized by the LGBTQ+ community. And this is the country's first time of having such a parade after the Himalayan nation's Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriages. Take a look while I take your leave. For the WION team, I'm Dasuni Athauda, and I will see you next week.